Good morning, guys. It is a great day to be in room 625. It is. Hopefully you guys are still enjoying your e-learning days and enjoy being at home. Hopefully we get to be back here as soon as possible. No idea when that will be. Today we are going to move on into some different stuff. Today we'll be talking about area and perimeter of quadrilaterals. Those are four-sided shapes, just like quadrants that we learned not too long ago, four quadrants. Quadrilaterals has four sides. So the first thing we'll be talking about is the perimeter. The perimeter is the distance all the way around the outside of a shape. I know when I think of a perimeter, I often think of a prison, because I know at a prison there's always cars and guards walking around the outside, looking on the inside, making sure no one is escaping. So the perimeter is the outside of a two-dimensional object. So to find the perimeter, all we have to do is just add all the numbers together of all the sides. So if I look right here to find the perimeter of this rectangle, I imagine like a little bug here. Call him Billy, Billy the bug. And if Billy crawls all the way there, he can crawl 10 yards. Down there is 5. Down there is 10 more. And up there is 5 more. And when I add those all together, I would get a total of 30 yards. And it's that simple, just add the numbers together. But be careful on a problem like this one on the right-hand corner. If I add the numbers together, 5 plus 6, and I get the answer of 11, that is wrong. Perimeter is around the entire outside of an object. 5 and 6 are the measurements of the width and the height, or the base and the height. But we have to think, if from here to here is 6, what is there to there? That's also 6, so I have to add 6 more. And if from here to here is 5, what's there to there? 5 more. 5 plus 6 is 11. 11 plus 11 is 22. So the perimeter of this is 22 inches. This is a square. I only gave you one measurement. I gave you the one side of the square. But we know for a square to be a square that all four sides must be equivalent. So if this is 8, that means this is 8, that this is 8, and this is also 8. So my perimeter to be 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8, 8, that's not a plus sign, plus 8, 8, 8. And when I add those together, I will get 32 feet. On this one over here, I have a 4 down here, so I have to add 4. So 4 plus 7. But I don't have a measurement on the other side. And we can't just say, hey, it looks like the other one, because looks is not enough. But thankfully for this one, if you guys notice, I have a little hash, a little dash right there. If I have a shape that has like a little dash on one side, and if any place else it has that same dash, that tells us that those sides are equivalent to each other, or in other words, they are the same length. So this, since it also has that line there, would also be 7. So 7 plus 7 is 14, plus 4 is 18 millimeters. So my answer down here would be 18 millimeters. So to find the perimeter of a shape, all you have to do is add all of the sides of the shape together. The next thing we're going to talk about is the area. The area is different than the perimeter. The perimeter is the distance around the outside of a shape. The area is the area on the inside of the shape. And we find the area by using this formula down here, which is length times width. Area equals length times width. You might hear me say base times height. It means the exact same thing. So how long is this? 3. What is the height of it? 2. So what's 3 times 2? Well, that's 6, and that's my answer. It is 6. Our units are feet, and we have units, we're talking about area. If you notice, when I divide this into 3, and I divide this in by 2, what shape does it make? It makes squares. So we have to square our units, or in other words, we have to use an exponent of 2 for our units. So 6 feet squared. 2 times 3 is 6. And you might also be saying, well, hey, Mr. Sebastian, if I count the number of squares, that is also 6. And that's where it comes from, 6 feet squared. It is literally just that simple. So if I look right here, here I have 4 more rectangles and squares. To find the area, I take the length, which is 10, times the height, which is 5, 50 yards squared. Area is length times height. 5 times 6 is 30 inches squared. Battery's low. All right, this, we have one of our dashes, one of our hash marks. If we have one there and one there, we know those are both 8s. So area equals length times width, which is 8 times 8, which means it's 64 feet squared. Last but not least, area would equal 2 times 9, so it would be 18 inches squared. It's that simple for area, base times height or length times width. You take the two numbers, you multiply. For perimeter, you have to add. For area, you have to multiply. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is a parallelogram. A parallelogram is a lot like a rectangle that's just been stretched. Here's an example of a parallelogram right there. What makes a parallelogram a parallelogram? It has opposite sides that are parallel. Or in other words, they will never touch, they'll never intersect. And if you look at this one right here, we have an extra line here. That will come to you in just one second. For the perimeter does not change. The perimeter is the distance around the outside of an object. So if I put Billy the Bug here, and he's crawling around the whole thing, he'd crawl 10 plus 5 plus 10 plus 5 for a total of 30 feet. And that's perimeter, so I do not square. But you're probably asking yourself, what about the 4? Well, think, what does perimeter mean? Perimeter is the distance around the outside of an object, and since that 4 is on the inside, it doesn't matter at all. The cool thing about a parallelogram is it has the same exact formula for the area as a rectangle. It is also base times height or length times width. But when we think about height, I want you guys to think about when you go to the doctor. How do you get measured for your height? Well, I'm guessing you stand up straight up like this and you get measured straight up and down. I'm guessing you've never gone to the doctor and had him measure you leaning like this, like leaning sideways, do you? No, because that's not your actual height. Height is measured straight up and down. So when we find the area of a parallelogram, we have to make sure we're using that straight up and down height and not the diagonal, not the slant. So to find the area of this, what's my base? What is it sitting on? It's sitting on my line from here to here. Well, that is the same as that, so we know our base is 10. And what number is our straight up and down number? Which number is our height? Our height is our 4, so 10 times 4 would be 40 feet squared. So the 5 is not your height because it's slanted. Height is always straight up and down. That is not straight up and down. Let's do a few more examples. So if I look here, it says find the area of each one of these parallelograms. What's the base? Base is 12. What's the height? Height is straight up and down. That height is 4. This has an area of 48 millimeters squared, not inches, about inches. All right. Over here, what's our base? Our base is 15. What's our height? Straight up and down is 7. What's our area? That'd be 105 inches squared. Ooh, this was a little tricky. If you notice, for my base was 12, and you see how my dotted line that represents my height touches my 12? My base was 15, my dotted line touches my 15. This parallelogram is turned sideways, but look at my dotted line. What is it touching? It's touching my 7. If you can imagine, if I try to sit it on one of these two sides, it'd flop over. It's not steady. My base is my straighter line, which is right here. So my base would be 7. My height is my dotted line, which would be 3. So my area would be 21 inches squared.
All right, everybody, end time today is 3 o'clock. Stay safe, take care, keep in touch, and we will see you back real soon.
Mrs. Harris, one last time for you guys. Area is 12 times 8, which is 96. So my area is 96 millimeters squared. Like she just said, hopefully see you guys real soon. Please keep doing your assignments. We want you to get stuff done. Please, hopefully you stay healthy. If you have any questions, please contact me. You can email me or contact me via Canvas. Have another great day. Hopefully I'll see you in room 625 very, very soon. See you later.